The Red Sea was a miracle God has done to preserve the Israeli people from the enemies, and how he intervened and miraculously saved his people. So the Red Sea is a passage to freedom and the very clear demonstration for God's power to deliver his people, especially by eliminating the enemies and securing and maintaining the freedom. The way I see it, the war in Tigray, the war in Ethiopia, is like the Red Sea. That God will intervene to eliminate our enemies. This war has a spiritual impact. There's also a spiritual warfare because they are destroying our church, destroying Christianity, and God, for his own house, for his own church, will intervene, and he will save his people, and he will make a way when there seems to be no other way. The Red Sea is also another thing about the Red Sea is the demonstration to the rest of the world of who God chooses. God chooses and he uses, and also whom he punishes. Does so with a mighty hand. People in Tigray are fighting for their rights and for the freedom, that this battle belongs to the Lord. He is with them as he promised. God is making another history to demonstrate to the world, to the rest of the world, all those country leaders who are oppressing our people, killing our people. God will show himself who he is by using and choosing those people, by choosing and using, and God will also punish those. Definitive statement who is in charge. God is in control. To those who believe in God, he is in control. And the third, the Red Sea is an example. When you do it God's way, even when it looks hopeless, trust in him, and he makes it work out for the better. The Tigrayan people have seen God's hand in so many ways. In a very hopeless situation, very dark. Tigrayan people have seen war, tragedy, loss. But in the midst of all this, God rescued them, and by being there, help them and provide a means, a supply, a help, a way out. The God we have seen his hand is the same God. He's watching, he's doing his own plan to accomplish his mission. Just remember, this is not just written for them back then to the Israelites when God led them to cross the Red Sea and how he punished their enemies. It's also written for us today. So there are questions you should ask. Number one, who are the players in this drama? In my country, in our country, for the last 3 years, the local politics already dies. They want it to be that way. There's no local politics. For the last 3 years, what's going on in Ethiopia is betrayal, deception, killing, assassination, and different way of killing, a mass massacre. But there are always players for that. Somebody is operating that. Ethiopia, for the last 3 years, is under a colonialism oppression. So who are the players in this drama? The country leaders of UAE, Abu Dhabi, the country leaders of Saudi Arabia, the country administration of Donald Trump. Those are the players. The president of Egypt, Al-Sisi. Those have been the first front. The advisor, Jared Kushner, to his father-in-law. And then will come Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed. Those are players. And then join the Eritrean president, Isaias Afwerki. And then later on joined the Sudan leaders. Those are the players. Through time, things change. When we come to local, who are the players? Abiy Ahmed, Demek Mekonnen, or the Amhara leaders. All those people are betrayers who join together to get something for their own personal benefits. Money and power. The resource and power. Abiy Ahmed, Demek Mekonnen, or this Oromara group, who has been the coalition of the PRF, betrayed their own party. So it starts with a betrayal. Donald Trump and the rest of the two Middle East countries, abusing their power, betray Ethiopia, where the nation, without knowing, the citizens without knowing, they conspire to take over Ethiopia. They cannot do it by themselves. Somebody has to help them. That's why the Oromara is joining. So pay attention who are the players in this drama. Like the Red Sea during the Pharaoh, who has been oppressing the Israelites. This is another history of like a Red Sea that our people are going through, oppressed by enemies. Number two, this is a question, like I say, you have to need to ask. Pay attention. A history is what is going on, is a repetitive of a history. Number two, where is it taking place? It's Ethiopia. It's in Ethiopia. The reason behind why people in Oromia, in southern Ethiopia, in Gedio, in the Amhara region, in Tigray, all over Ethiopia, the reason behind why people are abducted, imprisoned, being killed, assassinated, and massacred because of the players. The players have a mission where it's taking place in Ethiopia. The players are outside of Ethiopia and also inside. People doesn't know the clue because people think the problem behind this is Abiy Ahmed or Isaias Afwerki after Isaias Afwerki's Eritrea's sanction being lifted. Those are players of killers. To advance the mission, those leaders use their money while they are sitting in their own country. They buy and purchase those people who lower their standard, who betray their people, their nation, in order to submit to the money they get from those people. So Abiy Ahmed and Isaias is just another victim because looking for money. They will come after them, after they use them someday, soon maybe. So where it's taking place? It's in Ethiopia. Those players are the players. Number three, what actions are going on? I answered this one. The actions is imprisonment, killing, in order to take over the resource of Ethiopia, since it's taking place in Ethiopia. So those are the actions. The reason behind why Jawar and other politicians is being imprisoned is to silence the voice, because those are the only people who boldly opposing the government. So they are a trade for the mission not to be accomplished. So they have to lock them in the prison cell. Question number 4, timing. When is this going on? The timing? The result of the war in Tigray? The mass killing in Benshangul, Asosa, in Oromia, in South, in Walaita? It doesn't start in April 2nd, 2018, when the Ethiopian caretaker Abiy Ahmed been appointed. It started in September 1st, 2017, right after the USA Director Mark Green visited Ethiopia with an opportunity to start the colonialism, which they conspired in the Middle East less than a week before, in end of August 2017. So the action started there. The seed, the plot, subtly they put it there. So from September 1st, the timing is, that's when it started, to this date. So it's not starting when Abiy came. Between September 1st and until April 2nd is the process, the operation, in order for the Abiy Ahmed to bring him to power by those people. Thus, Abiy Ahmed in the Oromara betrayed the EPRF in order to get rid of TPLF, in order to kill the structure, the legal structure. You see how even the lawyers, the whatever you call the Supreme Court or whatever, the person she's appointed in Ethiopia, the reason no prisoners have ever get any being judged or given the court result. They are still just in prison. So there is no law that serves Ethiopia and the local people, because they already have taken care of it. They already have taken over it. The reason why Abiy came is to do that. So the timing is starting September 1st, 2017 until now, today, the 3rd of December. Number 5, how are these events are described? Like words, phrases, etc. Well, all the media deception, the biased information, the narratives. You see, when something is always, whenever the TPLF is resisting the government, sometimes challenging and even winning, another war starts somewhere else. With Dr. Tedros Adhanom, the WHO. So they stir up a problem to find a fault, to attack him, or the character assassination for the world to see. This is how the phrases, the words of the events is unfolding. In order for them not to win, to discourage the TPLF, and for the world not to give them a recognition, they will also bring another story. So pay attention. This has happened during the President of the United States canceled the support for WHO, the money. They stirred up, there was another war going on towards Dr. Tedros. When there is a desperation, when GPLF is winning, or empowered, or become a threat, they will go to another people who are circling or contacting with them, like those people who quite often came to the social media and give their intellectual analysis, or like Dr. Tigray and Professor Ezekiel. This is how the phrases, words of the events can be described. Those people, they only go to those people to attack when they feel weak. They don't want to lose it. So they have to distract and attack others so that every clutch that TPLF might have, if they weaken that part, so that TPLF will be weakened. Pay attention. It has a correlation. So the timing is important, how those events are described. Question number 6. This is how I see it, how I needs to be. Those are the questions we need to ponder. How are the people, places, and things affected by this drama? Imagine affected. So this is the results of both for the people and things. Go to Addis Ababa, the city of Addis Ababa. Right after the caretaker of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, came in April, and his first visit to Middle East on May 20, he brought a colonialism policy that's executed in Ethiopia since then, since May 20. In June 16, the Abu Dhabi leader Mohammed bin Zayed came to Addis. Through the driver of Abiy Ahmed, he took him to the city sightseeing. He picked the lands that he wanted, all the lands. Or the project you say, or the tree planting and everything, the building, whatever, it doesn't belong to Ethiopians because they sold Ethiopia under colonialism. There's a conspiracy, those people are involved. Jared Kushner, Donald Trump, Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Zayed of, so those people using Abiy also is to execute that. He's there to execute. So after June 16, he came and took over. The palace belongs to him. He changed it. There is also another destroying of history. Anything that's, when people have seen the lion on the statue, whatever, on the fence, being taken and replaced by peacock, this is just a process. So those are the results. People, the very first people who have been killed in this operation was a grenadier in the rally in the Mescal Square in June 21. And soon after that, in July 26, a week after the sanction for Eritrea has been lifted by the UN, assassination started in Ethiopia. It's unknown in Ethiopia. Very rare cases assassinations happen. The former TPLF leaders has been assassinated. Kempf and who is his father is Araya. So those are political, local problems that has caused it. But this one is an international invasion to accomplish their mission. So Engineer Semenya, when he has been assassinated, to deflect the information, not to be accountable, the Prime Minister left the same night. So people have been killed. And a land in Addis Ababa has been taken over, controlled by the Abu Dhabi leader, the Crown Prince. Those the people. Then the rest of it is just a repetition of that. When the day the engineer was being killed, is to affect the Ethiopian Great Renaissance Dam in favor of Egypt. So the dam project will be on hold. And maybe that expertise of the senior expertise of engineer not being there by itself will affect the quality, but in the process, the ultimate goal is to discourage, to stop the dam, because Abiy Ahmed, he has been communicating with Al-Sisi in Cairo, Egypt, in June 10, right before the Abu Dhabi guy came, because Egypt, Jared Kushner, and those people are doing the conspiracy to colonize Ethiopia in August 23, 2017, in exchange of, for Kushner, Egypt to lobby the Palestine, and land occupied by Palestine to be given to Israel. So it's illegal, it's crime. So this is what's happening, people. So the day the engineer had been assassinated or found dead in Mascala Square, 2 leaders in Oromia has been killed also. Most of the time we only hear those people who are well known, or those people who the media has addressed. But in Oromia, 2 leaders has been killed. Since then, there is no day that there is no deaths in Oromia. So the result, people have been killed, and their land, their territory, their resource, their dam, their water, the freshwater resource, the actual economical resource, like the sugar whatever companies, the tele they say they want to give, the airline which they were planning to give. So a lot of things have been captured. The gold mining, the investment by operating by Midrock, Sheikh Alamuddin's business has been taken over in May. After 10 days mass rally that Abiy Ahmed and the Oromara behind the scene has been operating, and 12 people have been died in order to accomplish, the government killed them. So those are what happened, the result, the effect, deaths. Deaths in slavery. People don't have the rights of voice and the rights of vote. The election have been possible. People, because they speak, they are put in prison. This is a slavery. Even though formally it's not declared, it's not slavery. The legal system is not working for Ethiopian people. It's working against. The economical resource is not for Ethiopian people. People are struggling. Life is getting expensive. We are in a war. Students will be abducted. As if nobody in business. They don't give what happened. Even those students in Nigeria by the Boko Haram has been getting international coverage, but in Ethiopia, no. All those Amnesty International, all those, they are working for them, in favor of them. Whatever information, the truth, they are not going to reveal it to the world, even though they know what is what. So the result is Ethiopian people being divided through hatred they give them, they feed them. So there's a division. Relationship has been broken. Relationship between Amhara people and the Tigray people, relationship between Amhara people and the Oromo people, and the prosperity gospel preachers or whoever leading that group is being used to attack the Orthodox Church. So relationship is being affected. In order to attack the Tigrayans, they use Amhara people. In order to destroy the Oromo, the Orthodox, Ethiopian Orthodox Church, they use the prosperity gospel, the false teaching. Not the other evangelists, not the Protestants who based in the world, because they wouldn't be cooperative. As the Tigrayan people, TPLF was not cooperating or in partner to sell our country, like the conspiracy Oromara did, betrayed our country, that the Tigrayan people wouldn't involve in that. So does those people who believe in God, who have the integrity, who knows the truth, wouldn't attack the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. So whom do they use? The prosperity gospel preachers, because they already have a lie. They already have teaching, false teaching. So that's how the effect. So the relationship between the Protestant church. People doesn't understand what's prosperity gospel. It's in general people what they see is the Protestant church is affected. But this is how those enemies, the number one players I said in the drama, is using in order to get and accomplish their mission to colonize Ethiopia, for them to be rich and prosper and to be powerful. They always. So those are the results affected by this drama. People are confused through the message. A lot of people have a negative image about the Oromo people, a negative image about the Tigray people, based on the information, the narrative story that are being fed. It's not the Oromo people who are killed. When Abiy massacre in Shashamane, people perceive, because it's in the land of Oromia, they consider it that way. That's why he wanted to play it that way, so that he wants to divide those people to be attack each other. That way he will weaken the people. That's the strategy. The people don't have that insight, that those people's craftiness in cunning motives. So does in Tigray. Still people are killed in Benshangul or Asosa massacre, they would say, TPLF. Those are visible. Some people are denial, they don't want. So how the people and places things affected, this is the results. Then question number 7. Why is this taking place? It has to have a reason. I generalize it and I already have explained. Why? The reason this takes place, it's in Ethiopia, the places in Ethiopia. The players are those countries, leaders. Why is it to take over Ethiopia? The operation since September 1st, 2017 is colonialism operation. So step by step, they have steps, they have phases. That's what they accomplished. September, Oromar has been joined together with this group in order to change the power change, to kick out the former Prime Minister Hailemariam and to replace Abiy. After replacing that, to kick out TPLF. In doing so, they also close the money channel, the resource, the Legadembe gold mining. So those are steps they came. Once they killed the dam engineer, once the guy came, Addis Ababa's land being taken over, immediately the action was they started renovating the palace and they started building in Addis Ababa. All this flashy kind of for the New Year's that they show, it is this personal property. So the reason why is because it's classified colonialism operation. Question number 8, finally, what lessons is to be learned and what must I do? Our people are still focusing on the wrong direction. Our people are still labeling other people as their enemy. But the bigger, while people are focusing on that, the bigger, the one that holds us all together as citizens, as a nation, our country, is gone. It's sold out. Abiy Ahmed and Isaias is because they have a military. Ethiopian military is killing Ethiopians. Eritrean military is killing Ethiopians. The reason is because colonialism, those Arab countries, they don't have the capacity of military, but they have the means, the money, they bought the weapons through Donald Trump, of which during Obama they were not selling them as such big or massive size of military weapon sales. So they got it. So in a smart way, having their own military crossing the border, the sea, the terrain, the mountain is very costly and it will take time, and it's unlikely to achieve it because they only can achieve it has a timing frame until Donald Trump is in the office, because it's a conspiracy because of his power. That's why our people are being killed and other countries are not involved. The human rights abuse is covered by Donald Trump. Since globally Donald Trump is causing trouble, and other countries also, they have their own fear, the relationship with him being affected. If we see Europe because of this NATO issue, look Iran. So this is a situation, our country's being sold, and what must do I learn? Everything started with a deception, with a lie, with information that's not true. Number one, deception. Number two, if you see the pattern how it unfolds, Abiy Ahmed betrayed everybody. He betrayed his team, party, Lemma. He betrayed who has supported him to came to power, mobilizing the protest, Jawar. And even now he said release of court release, those people who are challenging him, those people who are giving their voice and speaking up, Dr. Aulo, whatever. No one is immune from being betrayed by Abiy. He used and thrown. People are used and thrown. He used them for his mission. When his mission is accomplished, he kicked them out like a disposable. So they will be used and victimized. He used Jawar for his mission to be accomplished. At the right moment, he victimized them. He put him in prison. Lessons to be learned. Is this guy to be trustworthy anymore? For people to work for him? For people to believe in him? There are people like him who will come in our life in the future. People who are very cunning, who has ulterior motives. They are very good with their words, but very dangerous people. If you use your brain, you can be saved or prevented from a lot of consequences. If you use your heart, your emotions, it will be easy to fall to those people. They will use you, abuse you, exploit you, and victimize you. Look whom he's victimizing. The Amhara people, because of that emotion.